Hello YouTube, today I'm here with another video on Apex Legends. Hello YouTube, today I'm here with another video on Apex Legends. This time it's a guide on Mirage, one of my favorites at this point, and again a flanking monster. I want to bring you something new to the table and change it up comparing to different guides that already there are on the Mirage. You see, everyone says that Mirage Ultimate is perfect for defense and defense only, but that's wrong. Personally, I always go for as many kills as possible and play really aggressively. I want to show you how you should use his ultimate for attacking and deleting your enemy instead of running for your life. So yeah, also another thing is that everyone thinks Mirage is pretty straightforward. In fact, that's true, he is very easy to learn, but hard to master. To actually use his skills effectively, you need some hours in, and I'm here to speed it up just a little bit for you. If you want to skip something in this video, I will leave timestamps down below, so feel free to move anywhere you want. And without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. Counter picks and team comp. This be really short. Just as with Wraith, Bloodhound is his big counter since he sees right through your clown acts, and that's pretty much all there is. That's the only counter. On the other hand, he isn't really like a counter to anyone, but he does go well with Bangalore Smoke since you can confuse enemy with decoy, like sending them out from inside of the smoke. Moving on to the skills. No offense Respawn, but his passive Encore is useless. Instead of killing you on spot, they kill you a couple seconds later. Don't really do much, but I see why they did it, to make him like balanced. I say if he have a good passive as well, he will be way too overpowered. But the only way his passive is somewhere good is when you're near an edge or when you're like near a doorway or something, so you can climb out and you have a couple of seconds, you know, of invisibility to get out of there and not get executed on spot. And that won't win you, but like too much, but it will win you a couple of seconds, maybe 10 seconds, so your teammate maybe will make it in time to save you. Moving on to his tactical ability called Psych Out. It creates a clone, aka decoy, that will go wherever you point and stand there unless there's an obstacle to stop it. Few things you need to know is that if you run and you use your decoy, it will run. If you crawl, it will also crawl. It basically copies you whenever it's triggered. If you jump, the decoy will also jump forward, and etc. There's tons of ways to use this: offensive, defensive, supportive, and for flanking. My favorite way to use this is to run behind an obstacle, like for example a car, and then throw it out one way, or even sit down and call it right next to me while I go flank for another side. Either way, I always use it one way and do completely opposite to what the decoy does. If I send it left, I go right, and etc. As you can see here, I used it to confuse my enemy, and while my enemy was shooting at him, it gave me away at the position of the enemy and I could successfully flank and secure the kill. I see a lot of players using it pointlessly by just throwing it straight and then following it themselves. Yes, it could be used this way and work, but I don't know, I just see way more possibilities if you go another route, you know? A lot of times I also use it not for a flank but for bait. If I don't know where the enemy is, I throw it anywhere on open space and see if they shoot it, which will give away the positions for a brief few seconds. Also, before I revive my friend, or like if I'm looting somewhere in the dangerous place, I would always put my decoy right next to me. Just put it right to your side before you actually interact with whatever it is. Not always, but this might like work and save you from potential death. Another good way of using it is to use it while you're healing to give you extra time. So make sure to use it if you hear steps around you and you are on 1 HP. And finally, I want to just tell you, keep using your decoy on cooldowns. This is very important. Try to not forget, like spam it as soon as possible basically. When you are in a fight, like I see a lot of players use it like once, you know, in a short fight, or like twice in a long fight. But like they could have used it like 5-6 times. Just keep spamming it one way, go another way, anywhere, just put it anywhere. It will always confuse people. Now moving on to your main ability that will get you most kills, your ultimate, Vanishing Act. Vanishing Act sends out a team of decoys while making you invisible. Compared to Wraith, this ability actually makes you invisible. Your clones stand still and are pretty much useless. Maybe they give some tiny confusion, but the main thing here is invisibility. As you see in this clip, I put myself in front of enemies to like tell them I'm here and use it straight away after to attack and flank, and not keep it for the last second to run away. In this case, while they are confused with decoys and fighting with my teammates behind me, I was able to successfully run around them, jump on this edge, and hide behind a wall. Keep in mind, you cannot shoot whilst you're invisible since that be OP, that's why I am hiding for a brief second. And as you see now, enemy backs are completely open for me. Nobody knows where I am, and I'm able to put some bullets in them, but since I am like shit at shooting, I still didn't kill them all. But don't worry, running around an obstacle and throwing my decoy to run the opposite way did the trick, and gave me enough time to finish the teammate on the left side quick enough before getting killed by the teammate on the right side. Boom, that's the way to use Mirage Assault. If you want a high kill game, then try to not leave it for the last second. Yes, defensive way is useful, but attacking with it is way more profitable. And if you can shoot better, then even better, you're basically Shroud now. His ult is multi-purpose, just like any ultimate in this game, but I think it's the best to be used aggressively. So here you go. There's pretty much everything you need to know about his skills and how to use them. But before we finish this video, let's talk about pros and cons. First, let's go to pros. He's actually invisible compared to Wraith. His tactical ability cooldown is quick and you can spam it all the time. You can fight multiple targets like 1v2 or 1v3 because of his decoys and still have relatively good chance of winning and give you extra time to, to poke somebody whilst killing another guy, etc. His ultimate can save your ass and it's very strong attacking ability as well. Like, there's a lot of times where it did save me actually from near death, and but most of the times I usually prevent that near death by using it to kill them in the first place. His decoy has hundreds of uses. You can be very creative with it. Do whatever you want with it. I'm sure people are gonna be coming up with some crazy ideas how to use his decoy later on in the game. It's smart enough to do most easy tasks, so yeah. His decoy, if shot, gives away the enemy position for a few seconds, so that can help you out catching an enemy or discovering where the enemy is or where the enemy is shooting from. If you didn't hear it with your headphones, that is. And he's a clown. Yep. Wait, that's supposed to be in the cons. And now cons. His decoy sometimes randomly disappears. Like, I don't know why this happens, but sometimes the cooldown goes down as well. I'm sure this is a bug and it will be fixed in the future. His passive is basically trash. Like it's almost useless. Yes, there was ways where I used it, but almost always useless. Decoy gets stuck frequently and sometimes even your teammate can push you by an accident and that might ruin your tactic. So here we go, guys. I hope this video was useful to you and didn't drag too long. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for future Apex guides and content. Keep in mind, I have another guide in the Apex playlist, so you can check that out as well. It's on a Wraith guide, and I'm sure there will be more coming in the future. Comment if you think I missed something or have more to add. For other people and myself, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I see you guys in the game. Bye.